Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, March 13th, 2018, and I just really wanted to take a little while to show you some stuff that I found over the past year with my detector, things that people gave me, just random stuff that I've seemed to kind of collect since I started looking for coins, silver, things of value that maybe one day will be worth stuff. Some of this stuff you may not think is very valuable. That's fine. I think most of this stuff is pretty cool because I found it, and every hole you dig is like digging for treasure. And anytime someone gives you something, if it's valuable to them, it should be valuable to you. So most of this stuff, even though it looks kind of worthless, like a jar of coins or something, it means just take a look and see what all I found, and hopefully you'll find some of this stuff pretty interesting, and maybe you'll see something you like.
Alright, so first up, let's take a look here. This silver dollar. Alright, this was given to me quite a while ago, but I actually didn't find it until this year. I'd been looking for it and wasn't able to find it. I don't know where it ended up, but funny story, I actually ended up finding it in a desk downstairs, completely by accident. But yeah, I guess this isn't something I technically got in the last year, but it's something, like I said, I found in the last year. And it's worth stuff. I'll hold on to it probably. It's from the year 2000, you can see right there. So, maybe one day in the year 2000 will be considered a valuable coin, but until then I'm gonna hang on to it because I want to be able to give it to somebody or sell it if it ends up being worth something. But it's still got pretty good detail on the wings there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Silver, anything silver is great. This 1956 silver washing. This was actually the first silver coin I ever found. Metal detecting. Now, of course, being a newbie to it all, I really didn't know you weren't supposed to clean the thing to death. So there are quite a few little scratch marks on the inside, but really not worth anything aside from some scrap. Maybe a collector somewhere would buy it in another 50 years or something. But still worth something to me. Pretty cool. You can see it's got the D mint mark there on the bottom. And it's pretty old, so your first silver kind of means something to you, so it's always good to hang on to. Alright, this is probably one of my favorite finds that I got all year last year. As you can see on the back there, it's got the sterling mark, and it's a silver ring that I found detecting at my grandparents' house. And supposedly the story goes, as far as I can tell, and anyone else can tell, that it was my great-grandfather's ring, most likely, and he lost it sometime way back, but unfortunately I couldn't find the stone that went in there, whether it's cut glass or an actual gemstone. I couldn't find it. I looked and looked and looked, so who knows where it's at. Maybe it fell off and he chucked it out the back window. I don't know. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. I mean, it's silver, it's a ring. What else could you ask for? It's even got the sterling mark there, and the maker's mark you can see in the back corner. But definitely one of the coolest finds I got this summer. So this one's actually kind of funny. I just started doing this around Christmas this past year. I do a little bit of bottle hunting in my spare time, and I came across this one, and it was intact and kind of cool looking. So I brought it home, and now it's just kind of the bullet jar. And as you can see by the name, there's literally just bullets inside of here. And I've started putting everything, even fired ones, in here. So I do a lot of detecting in the woods where people hunt. So this is not unusual. And I found a bunch more in the past year. But, I didn't really start keeping them until now. And I'm not really keeping them to sell, I'm just kind of keeping them to see if I can fill that bottle up. But, still kind of cool. Nothing really old. Some of this stuff, it's got that white patina to it, but it's not, like Civil War 1800s era stuff. Just, regular bullets. Alright, I'll show you these three things here as well. You already saw, if you've been keeping up with any of the videos, the one in the center, the swastika pin that I found just a couple weeks ago. But here we have a top that I found. Still kind of works. It's been sitting in the ground for a while, so you wouldn't work very well either if you were sitting in the ground that long. Looks like a gold-plated something. It's got like an initial on the front, almost like a locket or something. But I haven't been able to open it, and I'm kind of afraid to open it for fear that I ruin it. So I just kind of keep it looking like that. Those three things are pretty cool, but I just figured I'd show you those. And even though you saw the one in the middle, maybe you haven't seen it before, so it would, you know, be cool to see it now. But I also forgot, when I was doing the silvers, this silver dime that I came across, and it's just a 1948 Roosevelt dime. But I used to work at the dollar store in my hometown, and when I worked there, I looked for silver coins for like months and months and months. And you know, it had to be on my shift, and it had to be the day I was working, and it had to be in one of the rolls. So there were so many factors that contributed to me getting a silver coin. And in like an entire year of working there, this was the only one that I ever found, and it, ironically enough, was like 2 weeks before I quit. So no, it wasn't the reason I quit, because I didn't meet that goal. But you know, it's just interesting to see that you find a silver coin, only one, in like a year of working somewhere. So it's pretty cool, but I figured I'd throw that in there because I forgot about it the first time. I'm gonna start just kind of clumping these together so that I don't have to record a ton. But you can see up here, I've got this thing. I thought it was a navy pin at first. It's not. It's just a designer line, a French designer line or something like that. But I found that at my church, which is pretty cool. This here, excuse me, I could have put with the bullets, but this is a fired musket ball, and it's way cooler than, you know, regular lead bullets. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna put that somewhere special. But I weighed it out and everything. Just a civilian round, like a hunting round, that was fired. Pretty cool though, pretty cool. I mean, I've never found a musket ball except for this one, so I'll take it. We've got a 1972 Kennedy half dollar. Didn't dig this one. It was given to me at the same time as that silver dollar, but I just lost these both somehow, and both found them at the same time. And this isn't silver, because it's after 1970. It's not even 40% silver. It's just, you know, a regular Kennedy half. But because these aren't really made anymore, it's still kind of cool to hold on to, and it's pretty heavily worn, but you know, it's a cool coin, so I'll hang on to that. And then these two here, I did dig this one, and I dug it at my church, and I thought for the longest time that I had a King George VI Emperor coin. Well, that's not quite the case. As you can see up at the top here, it's kind of hard to take a look at, but it was actually like a penny, so it's like a replica instead. But pretty cool. Can't complain about it. But it wasn't a real silver one, which is kind of disappointing, but still cool to find. And then my grandmother actually gave me this over the summer, and it's like a shilling from Kenya. It's crazy. It's upside down. From Kenya, which is really cool. 1975. So maybe one day it'll be worth something cool. But worth something to me, because she gave it to me, and it's not from this country, and foreign coins are kind of hard to come by, but somebody somewhere thought it was a quarter and put it in, gave it to her when she was working at the post office, and that's definitely not a quarter. But you know, people are in a rush and don't always see those kind of things, but now it's at my house, and I'm thankful for it, and I'll take it. Last but not least, I've got the 3 pennies, I guess you could call them. They are pennies, but they're different pennies. Probably the 3 most like degraded and awful looking things I've found, but probably 3 of the coolest things I've found. So it's going to be really hard to get these to focus and see everything because of how bad they are. But this is the first coin that I ever dug when I was detecting, and it's a 1916 wheat penny. You can like barely make out the 1 cent on the back, but I found this at my grandparents' house, and we poured vinegar on it and like put it in ketchup and literally destroyed the crap out of this thing. You can barely get a date off of it anymore, but that's the kind of those are the kind of things that you do when you're new to this hobby. You just kind of wreck things and don't realize what you're doing. But really holds a special place in my heart because it's the first coin I found, and it's, you know, my grandparents' house, and just a lot of sentimental value to this one. But I keep it in the special little case over here that I keep in my room to display them, as well as these 2 here. These are the 2 Indian head pennies that I found this past year. You can see pretty good. 1906 and 1891. The 1906 one was found at my grandparents' house, and this 1891 was found at my church. And they're both pretty much in the same state. Pretty worn, but the soil is pretty acidic here, so it makes it tough on coins that have been in there for a long time. Even silvers sometimes have staining on them, but You know, pretty cool. This one has a little better detail, I think, just overall. When it was dropped, I think it was in nicer shape than this one. This one was probably dropped after being in circulation for 20 years, and this one wasn't in circulation for very long.
So I hope you guys enjoyed all the stuff that I found. I know some of it seems kind of lame, you know, like the fake button and whatever that's not really from the Navy, but it's all pretty cool. Some of the stuff has value, and that's what's important to me, is that it has sentimental value or money value. If it's got either one of those, then I'm probably going to keep it. Oh, and historic value. If it's, you know, from forever ago, like the Indian head pennies, I'm going to keep those. But so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a bit lengthy, and some of the stuff may seem kind of quick, but a lot of the things that I got in the beginning of detecting, I sort of just threw out, you know, unless they were super valuable, which is a little sad, but whatever. Like I said, I was a newbie to it. But again, just hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later.